All right, hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica, and today I am going to be repotting all of these Aglaonemas. This is also going to be a get to know me, so if you've ever wondered anything about me, today's the day that you're gonna find that out. Well, maybe. So I'm just gonna spill random things about myself. Hopefully you find it interesting, but I'm also going to be repotting these as well. I've not repotted them since I got them, and they are in those little dead trap basket. Some of them are losing leaves, like this one. Some of them, like this one right here, are losing leaves because it's not retaining any water. It's been long overdue. I've been putting it off for a very long time, so today's the day that I'm finally gonna do it before they become unsalvageable. You know, just trapped in that soil that doesn't have any nutrient, and those baskets that are suffocating the life out of them. All right, so I'm gonna put them on the ground so I could have the table free to work on them one at a time. And while I do that, I'll tell you little tidbits about myself. All right, so let's get started. All right, so let's start with this one right here, my Agleonema Lady Valentine. Yeah, let's start with this one. So I'm going to use this. I have my soil right here, and yeah, so let's begin. All right, so what should I share about myself first? Also, it's going to be a lengthy one, so make sure you grab some coffee, some tea, something. Get comfortable and let's hang out. All right, okay. All right, so there's a worm right there. Ugh, those things creep me out. Nice root system. All right, so first things first, you already know my name is Jessica. I am a mommy of 4. Yes, I have 4 kids, 1 boy and 3 girls. My eldest is 10. Yes, I know I look very young. People tell me that all the time, so I'm not trying to flatter myself. Yes, I'm from Jamaica. So if you hear an accent and you ever wondered where I'm from, I am from Jamaica. Currently, I'm not working. I stopped working after I had my second child. Yeah, I stopped working. I used to work in the banking industry. Well, I've been all over. I used to work in retail. I worked as a beauty advisor at Macy's for a couple years. Then I wanted to do something more in my field that I went to school for, which is business. So I got a banking job, and I did that for like 2 years. And then after I had I'm gonna get gloves. All right, so I got my gloves, my sleeves are rolled up. Let's continue. All right, so like I was saying, worked in the banking industry for about another 2 years, and after I had my daughter, I did not go back after my maternity leave was up. So yeah, ever since then I'm a stay-at-home mama. I did work in the pandemic, I did work for Amazon from home, and then I stopped. That wasn't working out with our schedule, and at the time I had my 3rd baby. So yeah, once my kids get older, then, or if I get something to do from home that is more flexible, then you know, that I can do from home, then that's fine, because I have to pick up my kids from school in the afternoon, and I do have a baby that's a toddler that's a little over a year. I'm going to school as well. I am doing my master's, so I have a lot going on. I am married, if I did not mention that, because you know, not everyone that have kids are married, and there's no judgment there. I'm just saying I'm married. All right, so this one didn't have any, actually. It's an ant, a big fat ant crawling. I'm glad I got gloves, and the soil doesn't look so bad. But since as I already have it out, I'm gonna put it back in the same pot, because yeah, it's good. I'm gonna put it back in the same pot, give it some fresh soil, and then yeah. So this actually looks pretty. I'm not gonna throw it out. Do you know you can reuse soil? You can sanitize it and reuse it, unless you know for sure there's pests in there. But yeah, I usually reuse soil for my outdoor plants on my balcony. All right, so let's get this some fresh soil. And here's my little soil mixture. You want to see in the bin? It's, look, take a look. That's my little soil mixture. Some Miracle-Gro soil, houseplant potting soil, some perlite, and some repti bark. I just throw them together, and there you have it. All right.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
All right, there you have it. Done. I believe these are gonna be so much happier. This one lives right on my table, my dining table. So what I'm gonna do is, once I go inside, actually, I don't have any sphagnum moss, but you see I had some sphagnum moss on top of it. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna get some pebbles from Dollar Tree, some of those white stones, and put it on top. Yeah, it's gonna look a lot better because it sits on my dining room table. So that's that one. Pretty. So let's move on. All right, so this is the next one that I'm gonna do. This is my
A few moments later.
red emerald. It's my red emerald. All right. Oh, I did bring a bag to put the dirt in. Okay, so I can get back my thing. I do have a potting thing, but it's very big, so I'm gonna have to get a smaller one. All right, this one doesn't look so bad either. I'm not sure if it's in one of those baskets, but I know the other two are actually in those baskets, but maybe these aren't. It doesn't look, I know that one wasn't, but in this one either it doesn't look like it's in it. But I don't want to take that chance. It's drying out very fast, so I'm just gonna change the soil. All right, so back to getting to know me. I thought there was gonna be a lot more to talk about, but there's not really a lot to talk about. Oh, how did I get into plants? I don't know. Ever since I was in high school, I loved plants. I did agriculture in school, so I learned how to do grafting and stuff like that. That's a method of propagation. I learned all that in school, so I guess my love for plants started back then. And ever since I moved into my apartment that I'm in now, I've always had plants on my balcony. I didn't have any inside, so I've always had a golden pothos. My golden pothos is like my oldest plant. I've had it for years. Some variation of it. It has died so many times, and I took a small cut in and revived it. Yeah, so it had all different pests before I even know what those pests were. I believe it had mealybugs at one time. That's the only thing I can remember it having. But I knew it had pests, and I just throw out the vines that had pests and cut it, get a cutting off of it. And now I have like a big pot on my balcony. I have a few inside from the same plant. So definitely the best beginner plant, you know. So I've always had plants on my balcony. I've had that. I've had the Dracaena, just a few plants on my balcony. I've had aloe. I got like a aloe cutting from I got like a baby cup from my dad, and you know, I have like an aloe farm. There's so much aloe I have. Here we go. Not an intensive root system, so again, it goes back in its pot. Yeah, it goes back in there. I'm not even good. Would you judge me if I don't clean it? Because I didn't clean the other one, but it didn't have any root rot or anything like that, so I don't see it didn't have any pests. So I'm sure it could just go right back into the pot without me cleaning it. I can't bother right now. I'm on a time schedule because my baby's gonna get fussy. She's in her eye chair right now with her older siblings watching TV, eating Cheetos, and I want to get this done before she starts getting fussy and needs me. So yeah, I started to get into plants then, and then slowly I started acquiring. I think I bought like a Phalaenopsis orchid, and that's when I really started to research plants because it was dying. You know, when you buy a phal, you don't know anything about it, the blooms fade, and then you don't know what to do. It starts to die. So I started to do a lot of research, and then I started to find out, you know, learning how to grow those, and I was determined to keep that one phal alive, and it's still alive to this day. You know, so I learned a lot, and orchids quickly became my favorite plants. Before that, it was roses, which I cannot keep alive to save my life. One day though, I'm gonna take up that challenge, but for now I have a lot of orchids now. You know, I ventured into Cattleya orchids like last year when I did my Carmela orchid haul. So yeah, and then slowly I got an Aglaonema. When my first Aglaonema I got, funny story, I got it when at my job, when I used to work at the bank, there was like this, I probably tell this story before, maybe, but there was like this big planter right by my desk, beautiful Aglaonema silver base, like full and lush, and it would just block me away from everyone because it was like right by my desk. And then for some reason they just chopped everything back and nothing was there. It was just a big empty planter with dirt right by my desk. So then, so here we have it. That one's good to go. All right, so I'm gonna put it down here as well. I only have 2 more to go, so I'm almost done. So then it's, this one really needs to be repotted, like really bad. Let's look at it. See, look at those roots, and it's in those baskets. See, death trap basket. All right, so I'm gonna pick off the dead leaves and then start removing the dirt. All right, so yeah, so for months the Aglaonema, you know, we thought it was dead, no water, nothing. And before you know it, I started to see little shoots coming up. So I'm like, I'm not gonna leave it there, they're gonna kill it again. And I would just take cutting, I would just not cutting, but I would just root those up as they come up. And because they were like a part of the main system in the bottom, it would break off, but it was still fine. I took it home, I put it in a pot, and it took off. And every time I saw it came up, I would just put it in a pot, take it home, put it in a pot, and it just take off. So now I have a big pot on my balcony that I did cut back the other day because it had like mealybugs, thrips, spider mites, everything was just you know, it had everything. And surprisingly, it was still doing fine. It's just that I didn't want to infect my plants that are around it. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna cut it back and start from scratch, and I did that. That same plant is the mama of like 2 big, like 20-inch pot by my mother-in-law's house. I have one inside, the one that I did I propagate the other day, and I have another smaller one that you would have seen if you watched my houseplant tour. So yeah, that one I've mothered a lot of Aglaonemas, so they are really hardy as well. Another plant that I would recommend for a beginner. All right, so all right, look at it. You see this one? I don't know if you can see it. They're trap baskets, like they're 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna work at these roots and then get them out of the basket without butchering too much roots. All right, so, and then slowly, especially being a stay-at-home mom, there were periods of times when I just wanted something else to do because I feel like I would lose myself into taking care of my kids and the house. And that was even before I started to go back to school. So I just started to do a lot of research on plants, and the more I research on it, the more I get to love them. And the more I buy one, I was like, oh, I see people with plants, I'm like, oh, I want that one, and I want that one. And before you know it, you know it goes. If you have a house plant collection, I don't think it's something that you start off by saying, oh, I'm going to collect plants. I think you just buy one plant and one plant and one plant, and then before you know it, you have a whole collection of plants. So I love taking care of them. I love to see them grow. I love the challenge of them not growing as well. Like, I'm like, I have to figure you out. So I don't shy away from a plant that's hard. I love the challenge, and that's why I like my first Phalaenopsis. Like, I really wanted to figure it out. And also, when they have pests, I love to bring them back, so I won't toss the plant because it has pests. I'd rather cut it all the way back and then bring it back to life. So see, I'm working at the roots, and the baskets are slowly coming apart. There's 3 plants in 3 pots. Anyways, look at the roots though, they're very healthy. Yeah, that's why I got into plants. I love it. It keeps me sane, it keeps me grounded, especially during that crazy pandemic. You guys know that went, right? I know a lot of people got into plants around that time, but I think my plant peaked around that time, the amount I had. But before that, I had a few here and there, and I did put like one little Aglaonema inside. And I remember I bought a peperomia. I didn't know what it was at the time. I bought one of the variegated peperomias, and I could not keep it alive. I killed it. I didn't understand, and I didn't even bother to research at the time because it wasn't something that I was like, oh, I want to like be into house plants. I don't know. I just wanted to slowly bring them inside, and then, you know, it just took off from there. Ooh. Ooh, okay, yes. Woo! If I wanted to separate these, I could. Should I? No. I want it to stay full, especially since it lost so many leaves already. All right, so let me get my shear over here to cut it out of it. So that's how I got into plants. What else? Fun fact, when I was getting my bachelor's, I was 8 months pregnant when I graduated. I felt so proud. That was like one of my proudest moments. I walked on that stage with my big belly and collected my diploma, and I felt so proud, you know. I've always been in school. I started my bachelor's when I came to the United States, I was 18, and I started working on my bachelor's. Life happened, I had to stop school, and I didn't go back to school until, butchering my roots. And I didn't go back to school until after I got married and had my first child, my son. So I went back to school. I remember working, going to school, you know, leaving, going on campus, because at the time I was going on campus. I did some online, some on campus. I was breastfeeding at the time too, so I had to pump, you know, so it was challenging. It was a little rough, but I did it. I pushed through. I didn't finish though until after I had my when I was pregnant with my second child. I finished my bachelor's, and I walked across that stage so proud. And I'm gonna be so proud when I get my master's. I'm gonna be so very proud. Oh my gosh, you have no idea, because I'm doing it now. I do have a 16-month-old, and I'm doing it online. So I'm doing that. I have my 3 other ones are in school. So I'm doing all that. I'm doing my master's, and you know, it's not easy. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel as well, because it's not feasible when you have all these kids to go out and work like a 9 to 5. It's not easy because, like I said, I have to pick them up from school, and I don't want to have to put them in aftercare. I don't want to have to like not be there for them when they need me. And I worked when my son, until my son was like maybe 5, and so I really didn't want that for my other kids. So I'm like, okay, me and my husband, we come to the conclusion that we came to the agreement that I would stay home. So because it was rough. I remember when my son was a baby and I used to work in retail. Like I used to work for Macy's, and it was back then when Black Friday was Black Friday. And I remember Thanksgiving morning I had to go to work, and it was so cold. But I mean, I live in South Florida. That's the next thing. I live in South Florida. I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Plantation. So it doesn't get crazy cold, but it was back then. It was colder than it is now. And I remember I had to bundle him up. I didn't drive at the time, so my husband used to take me to work and pick me up back. And hopefully this is not boring you. Yeah, so I didn't want that for my other kids. I want to be there for them. So I decided to do that. It's hard though, because sometimes you feel like you lose yourself. But so that's why, you know, I'm doing my own thing. I want to grow my YouTube channel, and I just want to do a lot of business ventures because I am going to school for marketing. So let's see what the future holds, right? So I think that's about it. I can't remember. I don't know anything else to talk about myself. If while I'm repotting I remember anything, I'll let you guys know, because I have one more to go. Yeah. If there's something that you would like to know, you know, maybe I could do another one of these in the future, you could just leave it in the comment, or I'll just answer it in the comment. So all right, look at it. So all right, should I use the same pot? I don't know, is that too much roots for it? Yeah, I'm gonna get a slightly bigger pot. Hold up, let me get a bigger pot. All right, so this is just a little bit taller, so this should be good for it. I'm gonna put it in here. Yeah. All right, so let's just fill her up. You know what? I think I'm gonna leave off this little small piece, and yeah, maybe I can put it in my bedroom. This will be pretty in my bedroom. Yeah. Does it look cute? All right, so I decided to put it back because I want it to be full.
I got the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control, and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration.
All right, there you have it. Pretty. So, yep. 30 though. All right, that's that. All right, so final one, and it's already falling out of the pot. Like, this one is the worst, I think. Yeah, I can see the dead baskets already. root system is not even as intense. They're dry and thirsty. So I'm glad I finally got to it. A baby offshoot. Tell you about resilience. Look at this. It's still giving me new growth, even though it was like suffocating in that basket and dry, and it's not retaining water because it was so light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant it directly to this pot right here. It does have a plug in the bottom to plug the drainage hole. I was using it as a cash pot, but now I'm going to plant it directly into it so it could have room to grow. All right, I hope you guys found this video helpful. I hope you found it entertaining. I hope you got something out of it. And if there's any other type of videos that you guys would like to see, just let me know in the comments. And if you made it this far, give me a green heart in the like comments. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end if you made it this far. Pretty. All right, guys, I think that's about it. I repotted 1, 2, 3, 4 Aglaonemas. I spilled the beans about my personal life, you know, all that I can remember. I don't know if there's anything else that you would like to know, or if it was even interested, you know, who wants to hear someone talk about themselves, right? But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. If you did like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. I'm trying to grow my channel. It helps me out a lot. Let me know what videos you would like to see, and I am going to go ahead and give these guys a good watering. The soil is moist from it was in here, but I'm going to give them a good watering. I'm going to wash the leaves off because they've been there for a while, and I'm going to put them in their respective spots. I'll give you a little snippet of that, what it looks like once they're in their respective spots, and that is it.